Hello, my loves. Welcome back for another video. Welcome back, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Hailey Gamba, and I love to make videos surrounding anything that has to do with self-development, growth, manifestation, self-care, and all of the above. I really want my channel to serve as a way to help you guys with conquering the things that you maybe have been struggling with, or just things that you need reiteration on in your growth journey. I want to start today's video with a disclaimer that I am not a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I don't believe to know everything on this topic, but as someone who struggles with ADHD and has for a very long time, I think that I am well versed enough to discuss what I went through. So today's video is discipline for anybody who has focusing issues, more specifically ADHD, but if you deal with procrastination, focusing problems, you're distracted easily, you sometimes can feel lethargic and lazy when there is no rhyme or reason to it. Hopefully this video can help you guys out and you guys can conquer 2024 like I am going to, because one thing about me is every year I just keep getting better and better and better. One of the biggest things that I have consistently struggled with, especially through my adult years, like 20 to now 26, is being consistent, being a procrastinator. I struggle with just making sure that I can finish a task. I get hyper fixated and like overzealous about certain things, and then I tend to just drop the ball on them and forget about them and save it for another day. And then that another day turns into multiple days, weeks, and months. And then it kind of just becomes uninteresting to me. Something that I never discussed on this channel before is that I have inattentive ADHD. It's not really something that I talk about a lot, not with my friends, not with my family. It's kind of just something that is understood in my life. My mom has ADHD, I have ADHD, and I believe a few of my siblings also have it. And it is just something that has to do with having a weaker prefrontal cortex in your brain. So essentially it just plays a specific and crucial role in your attention span, behavior, and emotion. So it has to deal with the regulation of those things. I used to think that there was like something severely wrong with me. I'm like, why am I overly creative and I have all these ideas and I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to conquer a task and do something specific? And I always hear the word discipline. Like that's the word that we should all be striving for. And to a person who is neurodivergent and falls under the umbrella of that, it's not that simple to be disciplined, because there is so many other factors that play into why we do the things that we do. And I wanted to do an entire video dedicated to all of my girlies and guys who maybe struggle with ADHD or fall under the neurodivergent umbrella and maybe just need some assistance in making sure that you can conquer your life the way that you want and actually see your goals and dreams and everything come into fruition. The first way to stay disciplined in 2024, if you struggle with this, is to use your creativity and your uniqueness to your advantage. People with ADHD tend to be a little bit more creative and dream really big and usually can see things that other people cannot see. It's a gift, I promise. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is make lists and tasks in a creative planner to organize your thoughts and to inspire yourself. We tend to be a little bit forgetful, we zone out, we daydream, and we sometimes will just have scatterbrain. So I really want you guys to use this possible negative trait, because of course forgetting things and zoning out and daydreaming and all of those other things that I just mentioned can just be a little bit not so great. But I want you guys to use it to your advantage by doodling and writing and just doing anything in a creative journal, planner, or just a daily routine schedule that you can write out, that you can have everything written out so that you do not forget. Get super creative, guys. Like use colored pencils and pens and different markers to get yourself excited. I have like probably 3 different planners. I have like a really pretty like creative doodling planner where I'll just draw things and answer certain questions. I also have an actual like scheduling planner for anything that I have to do, like dates that I have to remember or doctor's appointments or birthdays, because it is just something that we naturally forget if we struggle with this. So I want to make sure that I'm on top of those things by writing them down. I want you guys to hack the system by doing just that and creative write and journal and document things and just kind of writing down whatever it is that you're thinking. Brain dumps are my go-to. You guys know, if you've seen any of my videos on just manifesting a perfect life, is to to do brain dumps so that you can get whatever you're thinking off your brain and on a piece of paper, and you can reflect on it later. It has really helped me with my forgetfulness and my scatterbrain. Definitely start journaling and writing things down if you struggle with this. And I also want you guys to not look at this as homework. Change your mindset around this subject. A lot of people feel like writing things down, journaling, having a planner feels like an extracurriculum activity in your life, but it's not. It's really nice to have, and keeping your planner and your journal in the same spot so that you know to use it and pick it up is going to really help you in this journey. Okay, also when it pertains to learning, growing, evolving, and changing, I know that it's really difficult to consume some sort of book or reading of some sort and just sitting down in your own thoughts. People with ADHD tend to not be able to finish a book, let alone a paragraph, because we tend to go over the same line over and over again. We're daydreaming, we're thinking about what we had for breakfast, we're thinking about what we have to do later, and it just becomes an overwhelming activity. So for me, I have hacked the system by listening to audiobooks while driving. This has helped me tremendously. All the things that I've learned about success, growth, manifestations, and just any topic that I want to be more well-versed on, I listen to audiobook style or podcast style while I'm driving. It forces me to listen, it penetrates the brain, and it actually makes driving more soothing and enjoyable. Granted, I absolutely love driving. It's like one of my favorite activities in the world, but I don't get distracted because I'm focusing on the road and I'm able to really absorb what is being said. So that has really helped me in making sure that I'm consuming content and reading and being more well-versed in certain topics while also struggling with scatterbrain, daydreaming, and zoning out. It's just something that has allowed me to consume things a little bit easier. So when I was researching ADHD in women and just dealing with it and trying to become more knowledgeable in this topic, because first and foremost, usually when you're younger and you're a female, and I'm not, isolating females, the whole video, but just in this one particular part, we tend to get overlooked for having ADHD. And I think a lot of the times it's because a lot of us have inattentive ADHD, which is the less hyperactive version of it. And when I was doing my research and just trying to figure out how I can live with it, how I can grow from it, and how I can really make it work for me, I saw something called Dopa hacking. So I have that written down actually. It's using brain science to hack into the motivation and reward system. So essentially it's boost, deplete, reward, and that's pretty much my day. So an example of boost, deplete, and then reward is, do you play music? So I will start the day by playing French classical music or Italian music like Andrea Bocelli, or I'll even do some oldies like Luther Vandross and Aretha Franklin and anything of that nature, New Edition, guys. Like I will listen to anything that makes me have the best morning ever. I want to feel like I'm in my own music video. That is honestly how you can manifest the perfect life, is treating it like this romantic movie centered around your life or a music video. So I'll play music that makes me feel boosted and in the mood, gives me that like dopamine hit, and then I work. So that is my deplete, is working. So I will film a video, I will edit, I will answer emails, I will answer my managers, I will do anything that has to do with working, which essentially is depleting. And then at the end is the reward. So the reward after working is something that you really enjoy that doesn't take too much effort. So usually that will be snacking while watching TV, watching a movie, going for a drive, listening to music, meditating, yoga, something that makes you feel good and doesn't require too much brain usage. So that is something that I think is really important for me, and it has helped me. So remember guys, boost, deplete, reward, and repeat the next day. I also want you guys to use your boredom and activity to your advantage. So a lot of us tend to get very distracted, bored easily, and things are just not really able to be laser focused on. So I honestly can never finish a movie without doing something. I hate this about myself, but it's just how it is, and it's always been this way. I can't sit and do anything for longer than like an hour. It's just not my thing. So I purposefully will distract myself with good things while watching the movie. For example, I typed up this video concept while I was watching Power Book, the one about Tariq. I love that show. But I don't know, guys. There's just something about sitting down, laser focusing on something that makes it very difficult for me. So I really want you guys to use your boredom to your advantage. If you're watching a show, you find yourself getting distracted or whatever, distract yourself with good things. Do laundry while you're watching a show. Write something down. Do whatever it is that you can distract yourself with that allows you to also do something else. I usually will watch a lot of my TV TV shows while I'm doing my makeup to get ready. That is just a way. It's just like dual doing something. And it allows you to really be able to have the best of both worlds. You're not bored because you're actually actively doing something that keeps you stimulated, but you're also able to consume your favorite things. So that is just something that has really helped me. And it actually does allow you to stay disciplined in your life. Remember, guys, we still have to be organized, clean up after ourselves, do certain things. Hell, writing up this video concept is making me money. It's helping me grow because if I post this video, I make money from it. So how was I able to be disciplined in my job? Well, I was able to write this video treatment down and I was able to film it. And I was also able to watch TV at the same time. It was like a win-win, guys. Work smarter, not harder. I really want you guys to drill that into your brain. And during boring tasks that you probably can't actually sit and watch TV doing, whether it's like cleaning your kitchen, mopping your floors, organizing your bedroom, whatever it is that you have to do that you know is going to make you feel better. Because the irony of having ADHD is that we will hate the very things that we do. For instance, we will absolutely despise when things look chaotic and messy, but we struggle to tidy up. It's just the downside of having this. So I really want you guys to use the activities that you despise doing to your advantage by making them fun. Podcast listening, even just listening to music, watching a YouTube video and having it on in the background so it doesn't require your undivided attention. Because the problem with this is if you have something that requires undivided attention, you will put aside the activity that you don't want to do to sit and watch the other thing. But if you're listening to a really enticing podcast, all you really need to do is listen. So doing laundry, cleaning your kitchen, mopping your floors, whatever it is that you hate doing, that you struggle to do, listen to something that's enticing while it is going on. And I really want you guys to use your constant ability to want to change and pivot throughout the day to your advantage by looking at it as multitasking. I was talking to my mom about this video prior to filming today, and I was telling her, I'm like, what would you say and suggest to people when it pertains to having ADHD and how to hack the system and actually being able to stay on top of things? And she said that the one thing that she really thinks is important to note is that we are incredible multitaskers because we'll start a project, then start another one, then start another one, then start another one, then start another one. Hell, sometimes we'll forget to finish them, but we know how to start multiple things at once. So what she suggested is to track back your mind throughout the day. Instead of viewing it as I'm so forgetful, victim mindset, and getting really down and out, track back your mind. Say, what was I just doing? How can I go back and actually go and finish that project really quick? Always track back your mind. Do that self-audit throughout the day that allows you to complete things. Also, making sure that you schedule certain things for certain days. This will help you tremendously because if things are written down, if things are planned, you'll get used to the schedule. You'll get used to the plan. So if Wednesdays are cleaning house days, it's gonna be that day. If Thursday is work and, going out to dinner with friends, that's what Thursday is for. If Friday is just doing the bathrooms, it's just doing the bathrooms. This allows you to not only track back your mind, but you know exactly what today holds. You know what the plan is. So you're not going to be overwhelmed with, being upset that you forgot something or that you didn't finish something, and you don't want this to ruin your life. You want it to enhance it by making it very planned out and orchestrated to your advantage. The next way to stay disciplined in 2024 if you struggle with ADHD or anything in that realm is to make your workspace calm and beautiful to your liking. Usually, if you have ADHD, you're a little bit of a messy person. If you're not messy, you struggle to stay organized and on top of things. It's just how it is. So I really want you guys to prioritize in 2024 keeping your workspace or whatever it is that you're trying to work on clean and organized, but more specifically, something that's going to help you become more successful. So this is my office. I keep it tidy. If I find that it gets messy, I clean it that day. I like to keep it clean, organized, bright, happy, and inspiring. I purposefully put inspiration into my life to keep me on that high, to keep that feeling of, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it really helps. So I make sure that my office always looks clean and inspiring and bright and happy. I also want to say that when it pertains to work and success and getting your life together, time management is important and we struggle to be on time for things. It's just how things are. So what I want you guys to do, and a little hack that I've done years ago, is changing your clocks back in your home a few minutes. Depending on how late you normally are, change it back however late you usually are. If you're always 10 minutes late, change your clock back 10 minutes. If you're 20 minutes late, change it back 20 minutes, and so on and so forth. Hell, if you're an hour late, I would suggest you change it back an hour late. So you're always on time for things, okay? This is going to help you avoid lateness in any type of work environment where you want to grow, evolve, change, and really conquer it. Even pick out your clothes and everything the night before, making sure that you have everything organized to a T before you start the day. We also tend to do excessive phone checking and will forget a task at hand. So putting your phone on the charger in another room, a room that you know you'll be able to find your phone and not go freaking out if you can't find your phone because you know where it always is. Keeping your phone in another room when you're doing any type of work or any type of evolving. If you struggle with excessive scrolling and you're a procrastinator because you're always on your phone, I would highly suggest you to do this for an hour or two a day. I have extended the time that I don't use my phone significantly since working on myself recently. And when I tell you I have mastered and conquered so many things that I struggled with, guys, a little story time. Back when I was really trying to grow my YouTube channel many years ago, I want to say this was in 2018, I had so many ideas. I was so creative. I was so excited about life and about work and YouTube. The only thing holding me back was my phone. It's really embarrassing to look on it now and say, wow, is that really what it was? I mean, I'm sure it was an accumulation of other things. It was my lack of confidence. It was, other things I was struggling with at the time. But the biggest issue was me scrolling on my phone on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, whatever it was. I mean, I wasn't really using TikTok back then, but whatever it was that I was using. And I would procrastinate the whole day, being distracted, and then find myself going, oh, it's 6 p.m. You know what? We'll just cap that for another day. And that another day turned into weeks, months, and I was just never super consistent with anything. When I was realizing that I was going through a lot of mental struggle and trying to figure out how can I build better habits and discipline and consistency in my life, I realized the biggest issue was the phone. Once I put the phone in another room, I was able to write down ideas, get excited about certain things, type up concepts, get excited about making thumbnails and editing and all of that. And now I've been able to continue that for years. I became successful, someone who has been able to sustain my own life for many years. I have been living on my own and been financially free since 22. I am 26, and I've never had to go back and work at another job, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's really nice to know that the issue in my life was really myself. It wasn't everything else, it was me. And once I fixed me, I was able to get better. So that is just something that I want to inspire you guys with if you're kind of struggling in this area. I also want to say that if you have ADHD, then you probably are a visual learner. Consuming information, whether it's like in a classroom or somebody telling it to you, sometimes can feel like a wah, 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 like the Charlie Brown noise when you have like all of those things going on in your head and you're zoning out often. Visual learning is going to be your best friend, making mood boards every month and for everything that you want. If you want to start working on having a dream body, make an entire mood board about your dream body. Put a picture on your mood board of the body you want. Put a picture on your mood board of what your body looks like. Put a picture on your mood board of what food you need to eat to get that body, what exercises, what quotes, what sayings, whatever it is, put it on the mood board. Make the mood board so visually appealing that you are going to want it every day. Make it the background of your phone, make it the background of your computer. Hell, print it out and put it on your wall. I want you guys to get so freaking excited when you see this board that you are going to always want to do certain things to better yourself. Having mood boards and Pinterest has really helped me, guys. Not only has it helped me in actually achieving goals, but it's helped me specifically in my work. When I am trying to come up with a video idea and kind of my process that goes into it, I will first make a title. I always make the title first. Then I think, okay, if I were to click on that title, what would I want the thumbnail to have in it? What pictures? So I will go on Pinterest and I will grab a couple pictures and put it down to make that thumbnail. And it visually just puts the whole video together for me. And that has helped me significantly, even more recently, is really sitting down, planning out content, and really just getting to the nitty gritty. I am such a visual learner. When I see it, I want to achieve it. So definitely take my advice on this. Sometimes it's not just about hearing things. Of course, podcasts will inspire you, but if you don't write it down and you don't get the visual, you're going to struggle with actually getting it done. Okay, let's talk about discipline with finances. I don't know if you guys know this, but people with ADHD are more susceptible to experiencing money troubles than the average person due to poor financial habits, not organizing, not planning, and actually being an impulsive buyer and shopper. I have done a few things to help with this. This was my number one issue when it pertained to making money. Was I was making a lot, but I was also spending a lot. So when I wanted to work on, my finances and getting better and good with my money, because I don't just want to make money, I want to know how to keep my money. It's not just about making it, baby. It's about keeping it and making my money work for me too. So I think that what is huge is, first and foremost, for all of my forgetful ADHDers, auto pay most things, okay? If you have bills, auto pay most things. And so some people, it's like, well, you should learn how to pay a bill. Yes, my love, I understand. But some people forget if they don't have it auto paid. So I have all my things on auto pay, guys. My mortgage, my car, all of my bills, my electric, my water, my everything, guys. I literally have it on auto pay, so I don't have to think about it. I also have everything written down in a notebook of what I need to pay and how much it costs. So I can keep track of my expenses and everything in that regard, so that, let's just say a credit card ends up declining because I maybe canceled it months ago and I forgot to switch out my auto pay on certain things. I know that I can go into this journal and say, okay, for my electric, I need to use this password and this username, and it's this much money. Put your new card in. And I'm able to just be able to find it so much quicker. This is going to help you guys so much when it pertains to being forgetful about money and not being able to stay on top of certain things. I know it's overwhelming. I know it's obnoxious, but the more that you plan, the better it goes for you, okay? I also will have, like I said, a folder written for not only bills, passwords, usernames, and all of that. And apps to track your expenses are really great as well. I personally don't have an app that tracks my expenses, but I used to in the past when I had terrible saving problems. And then for me, I actually save my money through Bitcoin. So Bitcoin takes out $100 every week from my account. I barely even know that it happens, and it's a great way to save without having to think about it. Sometimes you can set things up to take things out, and it's just a great way to have money put away and you don't even have to think about it and touch it. For all of my impulsive spenders who want to make more money, who want to also save more money, I want you guys to create wish lists to avoid reckless spending. Again, like I said, we are visual learners. Put a picture of the shoes you want, the bag you want, the belt you want, and all the little miscellaneous things that you want to purchase every month. Maybe make a new wish list every month or every 3 months, depending on how much money you make. You need to know and be very knowledgeable. Okay, how much can I spend with how much I make? You need to kind of be self-aware in that. But for me, I like to make a mood board every month of things that I want to purchase for each month. And it inspires me, but it also doesn't allow me to venture out of that. You will not have as reckless of spending habits if you create those mood boards and those wish lists, so that I'm gonna have nice things this month, but I can't buy that other thing. Let me add that other thing to my next month's list. It's just going to keep you on top of things, not overspending and not being crazy, so that you can make money, have money, keep your money, hell, even be rich, baby. I promise you. I became richer when I started creating a more realistic expectation of how much I could spend. Guys, when I tell you I used to live a life of stupidity, I would make, let's just say, $15,000 a month, right? And 10 of that would go to bills and stupid shit, and then the other 5 I would spend at dinners and this and that. I have everything planned out now to where I am saving more than I'm spending, but I still spend enough to feel good. And that is an amazing feeling. For instance, I just bought a new fence for my house. The fence was $10,000. I made sure that I planned that out in advance, that I can get a fence, but I can't maybe do this and that month. And I made sure it was planned and the expense was paid for, and now I have a new fence. So I feel like I spent, a good amount of money, and I'm able to feel fulfilled, and I got something out of it without feeling that shame and that uncomfortability of overspending. Now, I want to conclude today's topic with just kind of discussing how to create your dream life with ADHD, and just little things that I wrote down that have really helped me throughout the years. One is, don't let anything in life define you. We all have shortcomings in life, and it's important to have accountability. The word that I always come back to is being accountable. I am responsible, I am accountable, and I am independent. And I need to make sure that with that comes great responsibility. And when you actually put yourself first, it's not just about putting yourself first in a luxurious way. It's also about putting yourself first in a safe way, in a way that makes you feel comfortable and happy. So not only do I want to spend money on myself and do nice things for myself, but I also want to make sure that when I do those things, I don't feel shame or uncomfortable afterwards. So just being accountable for my actions is huge, and just realizing that I am responsible for like 90% of what happens in my life. So I want to be the one who does good in that regard. Make life more enjoyable so the ADHD isn't triggered too often. We tend to have more ADHD triggers and just moments of the weird moments that we have where we burn out or zone out or daydream when we're doing things that we don't like. When we are actually enjoying our life and we are actually doing things that make us feel good, we are normal functioning. We are not really resorting to stimming or other, habits that we don't want to do. It's important that you create your dream life by literally doing just that. It is important that you use your creativity to your advantage. We are creative. We think ahead. We see things others do not. And we are perfectionists by nature a lot of the times. So I think it's important that we make life more enjoyable by doing what it is that makes us happy. Also, having smart nutrition will impact it so much. So making sure that you're eating enough, consuming enough water, and eating the things that make you feel good and not, resort to other things. There's like a whole list of things that you should avoid if you are neurodivergent when it pertains to nutrition. I also try to avoid perfectionism by creating plans, budget-friendly and luxurious, that will help me perfect my vision in advance. So a lot of the times when you are a perfectionist, you will procrastinate. It's just natural, and it halts us in life because we don't get as much stuff done. For instance, my ADHD triggers come up in the house. When I purchased this house, I had so many plans that I wanted to do, and it overwhelmed me because I want to make sure the house looks perfect and I don't want to have to refurnish it every couple of years because I bought things impulsively. Because of that perfectionism, I am struggling to get the house furnished. I finally sat down with myself like 2 months ago and said, okay, let's plan out each room. Let's really have things picked out, high end and low end, that are going to make the house feel full and happy and just exactly how I want it. And I've been getting more stuff done because of it, and it's helped me. Being a perfectionist is something that we will always probably have in us. Always. So just by having the plans that look perfect to you that you can execute and actually micromanage in a healthy way are going to be the secrets to actually achieving the things. Plenty of rest, ladies and gentlemen. I like to designate rest days, and if I'm having an off day, I will honor that. A lot of you guys have asked me, like, do you have set scheduled filming days and things like that? And to be honest, guys, I do. But if I don't feel good that day, I'm not doing it. If I wake up that day on the wrong side of the bed, I'm not doing it. I don't force myself to do anything if I'm not feeling it. Now, I know that some people don't always have that advantage and that luxury, but if you do, when it pertains to certain things, take a break. Resting is important, getting enough sleep is important, and just making sure that you designate rest days for yourself so that you're not overly, tired and burnt out and feeling overwhelmed. You don't want to be triggered in a way that is hard to come back from. Now, due to the fact that we are perfectionists and we are big dreamers and we do really crave the nicer things in life, I want you guys to go after the big things. Get your dream body, get your dream job, get the dream relationship. Use being over analytical to your advantage. I know that it can be annoying and it can kind of halt and hurt your life in some way, but I don't want you guys to look at it from that perspective. I want you guys to look at it as, because I'm a perfectionist, because I'm over analytical, because I see everything and I see every mark in this and that, use it to be perfect, or as perfect as you can be, in a way that's not overly unhealthy, okay? We naturally are just gonna be a little bit more unhealthy than the average because of the things that we do, but I want you guys to use it to your advantage. Get in the gym, get the dream man, get the dream job, because that is what we go after. We go after big things, and not to procrastinate in them, just get it done. And the final thing that I wanna say, guys, is being uncomfortable is important. When I sit with myself and I feel overwhelmed and just angry, and I just, feel like, oh my God, why is this impacting me so much? I say to myself, I want to push through it, because temporary discomfort for a big reward is so much better than being comfortable right now and suffering the consequences later. I like to have those conversations with myself because some days I don't want to do things. Some days I don't want to get ready. Some days I don't want to work. Some days I don't want to go to the gym and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. But I do it if it means I'm going to be better in the future. Discerning that and being self-aware in that and understanding that temporary discomfort is so much better than lifelong suffering. I want you guys to keep that in mind when you are growing, evolving, and changing. Staying disciplined is a task. It is difficult, and it's not something that I take lightly. But anytime that I fall off from my discipline, I say to myself, girl, and you're gonna have to start all over again and everything's gonna be so much harder. So you better get your ass back and get to it again. And that's what keeps me on top of things. I have my dream life, guys. I have my home, my dogs, my career, everything that I mean, granted, there's so much more that I want out of life, but it would all be secondary because everything that I've truly wanted, I have. And it's because I pushed myself through a lot of uncomfortable moments. And I think you guys can too. Don't look at this as a disadvantage. Look at this as a gift. And I hope that I was able to give you guys enough excitement and ideas and tasks that can really give you guys that boost that is going to take you to the next level in your career, your love life, your life in general, or anything that you want to achieve, you guys can. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Mwah.